If you follow this protocol that I'm sharing in this video, you can change your life and become unrecognizable in less than 1 year. So I'm taking you through a training I had with some of my upper level clients, and I was teaching them how to reinvent themselves so they can have more prosperity in their business, have more peace of mind while going throughout their day, health, wealth, and relationship, and having that sense of purpose. So let's check in on this video. Get it out a notebook. It's a long one, but it's super valuable if you can pay attention, not get distracted. So let's get locked in. How to change your life and become unrecognizable in 1 year. Let's hop into the video.
Where were paradigms even formed? So here you are as a child, and up until the age of 7, you didn't have the conscious ability that you have now, aka the ability to accept and reject ideas. So as a child, up until the first 7 years of your life, you're just taking in the ideas of the people around you, the family members, the teachers, the news, everybody that's around you, right? So here you are as a child, you have the people around you, your parents. Oh my, like my grandparents, I love them to death, but they are so deeply embedded in the matrix. It is wild. You know, like in the Matrix, when you try to pull somebody from the matrix, they said you can't unplug somebody that's not there, and they'll fight to the death to preserve the matrix. Like, you guys remember that from the movie, right? That's like my grandparents. They're like watching the news. Whatever's on the news is real. Like, even after the Trump stuff, like, it was so obvious what was happening, but like they're just so in it. When people are that deep into the matrix, right? They're watching the news and they implanted that in you as a child, depending on your parents and their cognitive ability. But where I came from, my grandparents told me everything that was on the news: go to school, get your grades, get a good job, get a retirement. I'm basically going to be my grandparents' retirement plan, because Social Security, what they have in America, it doesn't cut it. And I'm like, Grandpa, are you happy with the plan you follow? He's like, yeah, he's complaining, and that was the path they wanted me to do. No, imagine if I listened to them, right? So here we are. You're 30 years old, 35, 24, however old you are right now. You're trying to build a business, but all business is personal development attached with a compensation plan. All your paradigms are being exposed. Your habits, your bad habits, your good habits, your limiting beliefs, all of those are being exposed in your business. But really, that's what it is. It's a personal development plan with a vehicle of compensation on the back end. So in order for us to go and have success with our business, we're going to have to rewrite our paradigms. And everybody has individual paradigms. Some of you are having paradigm changes from currencies, locations, C-suites, different products, different industries. You're going to have to rewrite that. But at the end of the day, what we have to first do is understand that we have a paradigm, which I taught you guys in this week's lesson, and I need to put more emphasis on it. Maybe what I need to do is this coming week, I think I'm gonna dive a little bit deeper into this. Today is obviously Mastermind Day. I'm just giving you guys a nice little overview, but I think I really need to put some emphasis, not only for myself but for you guys, that we're doing too much of the quantum jumping and all this kind of stuff, which is great, but we got to go back to the governor. Remember, like, those of you in business, probably Casper knows this, your business always falls down to your system. It always goes down to your system. So we can do it here and have all these different strategies and stuff, but at the end of the day, you're always going to default back to your system, which is your paradigm. No matter how many quantum jumps or quantum activities you take, you will always default back to your systems. So we're going to have to spend maybe a little bit more time on that and get back into, where does our system come from? How was it initiated? How do we replace it? Just knowing you have a paradigm doesn't mean you're going to replace it. And we need to really get in there. And I did come back on the next call with some activities for you guys, really emphasizing we need to reprogram this unseen part of our life. Because we know there's an invisible power that gives us an idea. We then plant that into the subconscious mind with repetition and emotion via meditations, then take quantum behaviors and quantum actions that will then produce new results. We know this. But if we don't fix this part, you'll always default back to our systems the moment you go unconscious by driving, taking a shower, just going about your life without actually taking conscious. Remember those assumptions, those Navigata videos that I have you guys listening to. Okay? We need to change that. The hardest thing a person can do is to think truth. You will see this again over and over again. What is truth? Well, we have been given this special ability, which is called imagination. It's so powerful that society doesn't want you to use it. They'll say, why is your head in the clouds? You can't do that. Be more realistic. Once I see it, I'll believe it. Don't be so imaginative. Don't be such a dreamer, right? They want to kill this part of you because this is Christ's consciousness. This is Jesus. This is God that has been renewed through you, in you, to create the new reality. This is the co-creation part. That is your true force, is your imagination. So with your imagination, you have a special ability to form an image, which is the only language of the subconscious mind. Images and feeling. Those are the only languages of the subconscious mind. Affirmations do not do it. Anything done with the normal beta brain, which we talked about beta brainwaves before, any beta activity is not the language of the subconscious mind. If you're beta, you're not doing it correctly. I don't care how many times you're going to sit in that mirror and say, oh, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire. It's not true because you're not talking the language of the subconscious, which is the images with feeling, preferably done in a theta brainwave, which is a lower brainwave. For those of you that are coming in, we had a training on brainwaves, okay? Lowering your brainwaves. Let's get back to it. So we have imagination, which is our ability to co-create, and it's the great redeemer that will pull you out of poverty and pull you to the greatest heights of your life. We're going to form an image with that. And what's the image? We're going to form an image of what we want. Do you want? Like, we had our training on Tuesday. I got on my one-on-one call with Isa, and what she wants is completely different than what I thought. I thought we were going to start building a ticket offer and sales calls and all this stuff. And she's like, I don't want that. I want this, this, and this. It like kind of stumped me a little bit. I was like, oh, that's completely different than why everybody else hires me. Well, okay, so, but she's saying what she wants. So that changed the strategy for our one-on-one calls now. See, what do you want? And it doesn't matter what's going on in 3D. We've had the training before. The 3D world is just a projection of whatever's going on in the code behind it. It's not real. This is not real. There's a code, infinite intelligence, formless substance. In the 3D world, it's just responding to a binary code. It's a formless substance, matrix. Think of like the actual matrix, maybe like the green patterns. If you ever, not to promote this shit, but if you ever done DMT, ayahuasca, peyote, bufo, any, you know exactly what I'm talking. There's some type of spiritual code, and you can see it with these kind of plant medicines. But you don't need that stuff. I'm just saying. You know what I'm talking about if you've done it. So there's this code. And that code responds to thought. I digress. Okay. Follow me here. By the way, nobody taught me this stuff. Like Bob never taught this stuff to me. All this stuff I teach you, it's just me and my studies. You guys got to get in your studies. Get in your studies every day. All these things, like anything I teach you, like you see they're rooted in Bob Proctor. Like you see the stick figure, you see the image here, but this is all original teachings. Like this is just me studying every day. I want you, remember, what did I say on Instagram every day? Did you study today? Why? As you study, you grow your awareness. As you grow your awareness, you have higher frequencies. As you have a higher frequency, you see above your problem and you download information from time and space at a higher level that allows you to get above the problem. You can collapse time and space to get through it faster. That was a long synopsis. It's a bunch of words, but that's what we're doing. That's gained through study. I digress. Imagination. You form an image, what you want. Clear. Now, this is where a lot of people will fail. They don't do this part. They don't have the feeling. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. That's the eraser. Feeling. This is where those assumptions come into place. The meditations. Here is what we need to do now. You just got your little micro. By the way, you're going to notice repetition. When I would spend, there's this program I spent with Bob Proctor. I forgot what it was called. Mastermind or masterclass. I don't know. It was like $10K a month. $10K a month, and we would have one call every 2 weeks. It was like 2K. 2 calls a month for $10K a month. And I'd be on a call with Bob, and it'd be like 10 of us on there. And we'd listen to the same paragraph every day. Like imagine I open up this book, right? And I'm just like reading this book every week. You'd be like, what the hell did I spend my money on? Like, but I respected him so much, and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't remember what we studied during those days, but there's one thing that I took away from that group. repetition is the key. Bob, like being on a YouTube video with Bob and being with him behind the scenes was a completely different thing. We would study this thing, and that was worth the $10,000-$20,000 I spent in that program. Was that Bob would say the same things over and over and over and over in repetition. Like right now, my program is Science of Getting Rich. I'm on chapter 7, but I've been studying this for 2 months. And I've been on the same chapter for at least a week and a half. And I read it again, and read it again. Every time I read it, it's a new frequency. Every time I read it, I get a new idea. Every time I read it, I get a new call to action. Every day, a new YouTube video. Every time I read it, it's just repetition over and over again. So here you are. You're going to think the truth. What is that truth? That's that want that was based in your imagination. Y'all follow me here. That's the truth. So you're going to have the truth. You're going to form it in your conscious mind. You got to hold that. You're going to hold that with your willpower. That is what the will is. The will is your ability to know what to do and to know what to think and to hold it long enough until. That is the key word. Until. Guys, until. I'm doing it right in front of you. For those of you, like, since when? I don't know, last couple months, Casper, Zane, and Damien as well. I said until we launched the quantum codes. First it was an idea, then we launched it, then we changed the YouTube channel to the men. Then now we're gonna have the very first official launch for the group. And then Issa came out of nowhere. She's gonna help us develop it. Like until, gentlemen, until you keep working, be of service, work, build, dream, create. Work, build, dream, create. That is it. You just keep doing it until. Okay. So we're going to think truth, which is what we want based on imagination, to the exclusion of what's going on in the 3D world. We're going to form that here, and then we're going to hold it here into the subconscious mind through feeling. You take that image, which is, remember on the last call, I think, I got you guys getting more clear on what that image was, because I was lacking on the image. So I'm like, shit, if I'm lacking on the image, I got to get my clients on it too. What does that image look like, guys? Is it the booked out calendar? Is it this? Like, get a little bit more clear. All right. So we got that image now. We're going to base it in feeling with the meditations, with the assumptions, with the stories we tell ourselves. These are all different. A meditation is a 20-minute section of your day. And then you wake up and you go back to your old shit. That's your life. You're just in chaos. That's different from the assumption. And that's different from the stories. The stories is like when you were doing the dishes earlier, when you were taking a shower and you were just not thinking about anything. And the stories were like, man, I hope I can get a client today. I hope I get views. I hope the money hit, right? Whatever you're going through. Like, the stories are the unconscious parts of you. That's the part we need to program. It's the wild horse. We need to bring it back in. So each of these are different sections. I wish it'd be more simple, guys. I wish I could tell you feel it and woo-saw, and I just sell courses for $10,000 teaching people woo-saw. It's so simple, and I make millions of dollars. I wish it's that easy, and I'm honestly thinking, like, how can I make it so much easier for you guys? But every time I get deeper, I realize a different part of myself. Like, I can do a meditation for 20 minutes, but then I go back and I look at my views and I start doubting if it's working. And then I have to, like, reinvigorate myself, even though I had a meditation 3 hours ago and it's not productive for me to do another meditation. So I have to do something else. What can I do? Well, I got to assume that person. And then I'm not thinking about business, and my mind is off. And I'm doing the dishes, and then just these overwhelming anxiety and fear and doubt starts to hit me. I'm like, where's that coming from? And I realize it's these deeper stories that I have about myself in my paradigm. I got to fix that too, right? I got to fix this. I got to fix this. I got to fix this. And these are the strategies that I'm just bringing awareness, because if you guys don't have awareness, how can you fix something if you don't even know what's broken, right? You guys following me here? Hopefully you guys are getting a bunch of downloads. I'm just trying to build awareness for you guys. Oh, I didn't think about that. Now you can implement it this week and at least start the path, because you guys are all grown adults. You're going to have to go down the path yourself. I've given you guys the resources, the trainings, the places to go fix it now. So if the meditation is not correct, go fix it. I have a training for that. If it's the stories, go fix it. If it's the feelings, go fix it. If it's the finding what you want, go fix it. Like, there's all of these are different compartments that you're going to have to go figure out which one you're lacking in, and then improve it. It's like going to the gym. It's like martial arts. They're all different. You have to learn how to fight, how to punch, how to block, how to grapple, how to kick, all these different things. Let's keep going. You have your truth. You formed it in your conscious mind. Everybody's good there. Everybody's pretty good there. This is the part where we need to build more belief. It's the delayed time between your manifestation and where you're all at now. It's just a test. It's delusion. It's not real. The only gap that you really need to do is the gap between where you're at now and your belief that it's done already. That's the true gap. Anytime I've had a quantum leap, I didn't have to go outside of myself to get it. I just assumed that it was done now. And remember, this has happened to me 2 times. So I know it's real. Remember, I told you guys, so I built the first business with Bob to 7 figures. Then he passed away and left and tried to do other stuff. I lost it all and was broke for 2 years. Then I built it back up. The same exact way, just boom, straight to 6 figures a month again. And I'm just like, all right, now it's not luck. You know what's the craziest thing? Right before it happened, I knew it was going to happen. I was trying, and I was so wore out. I was so tired. I was so stressed. I was so like, God, I'm about to jump off this balcony. I swear, I was that stressed out, and I just gave everything up. I just said, I surrender. I surrender fully. I don't even care anymore. This is just what I want. That week, it all took off again. But we don't have to get to those points of stress, gentlemen. That's what I'm telling you. We don't have to be that stressed out. We don't need that. What we need is what I learned now is the assumption part. I just started to assume because I didn't care anymore. Because I was so overworked for trying to make things happen. And there was this inner knowing that came about. An inner knowing. So you hold that truth to the exclusion of the outside world. You form an image. You back it with feeling, with the strategies I've taught you. And then you take your quantum actions. Now, what we're going to come back with next week is we got to spend a little bit more time on this guy right here. We got to do that because at the end of the day, this stuff is all great, but you always default back to your old patterns, your old frequencies, your old systems for the business guys. You always fall back to the old systems. So you can do great, but if you don't have the systems in place and operations, you'll always falter back to that. So we got to spend a little bit more time on that. Okay, Issa, go ahead.